Good afternoon, friends. We will be starting the session in a few minutes. We are just waiting for the chairperson to join.
Yes. Good afternoon, all of you. We are going to start just within a few minutes. Uh, Before that, let me give some instruction. Presentation time is 5 minutes. After 4 minutes, you will get warning bell. Okay, and try to complete your presentation within 5 minutes. And out of all presenter, one will be selected as the best presenter, and that will be decided by chairperson. Once chairperson join the session, we will start presentation. Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, hello, I'm here. Hi,
Yeah,
Somnath.
yeah. Yes. This is Professor Sachin Joshi.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello. This is my privilege to introduce Dr. Anant Maria, the chairperson for the session. Sir is an advocate on record as well as a consultant having more than 10 years of experience at the bar. He has represented and argued several matters pertaining to civil, commercial, arbitration, insolvency, and bankruptcy law and company law disputes. He has appeared before the Supreme Court of India, the High Court of Delhi, as well as various courts and tribunals. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation.
Thank you.
Sir,
It's absolute my
sir,
pleasure.
sir, with your permission, can we call the first presenter?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Just a clarification. So, can I ask or comment in between, or should I wait till the end to do that?
Sir, wait till the end.
Okay, sure.
And sir, just to remind that you have to take one best paper presenter and
Yes.
announce at the end of the session.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Should we begin?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. The first
Uh,
presenter then.
yes, the first presenter is Sukriti Srivastava, and her topic is policy initiatives by G20 nations for sustainable energy transitions and Indian perspective.
Good afternoon, sir. My topic is policy initiatives by G20 nations for sustainable energy transitions and Indian perspective. So, my research methodology is qualitative research, and my primary sources are government reports, acts, and bills, and secondary sources are research papers and journals. First, G20 nations are basically it's an intergovernmental forum which comprises of 19 sovereign countries and two international organizations, European Union and African Union. African Union being a recent addition in this G20 summit held in India, New Delhi. And this particular organization addresses major issues affecting the global economy as well as the financial stability and the environmental changes. It accounts for around 80% of the global gross world product and 75% of the international trade and two-thirds of the global population and 60% of the world's land area. So the New Delhi Declaration was adopted in this summit, which was held here in India, New Delhi. So I have specifically focused upon the points which are relevant to my topic relating to sustainable energy transitions. So the first one being there was a commitment to achieve the 1.5 degree temperature target. It means that the global climate target that aims to limit warming to the level by 20 to this 1.5 degree level by 2100. So basically, it's a step. It's an initiative taken to limit the global warming and to prevent the drastic climate changes which might happen in future. Second one, more emphasis was provided on hydrogen as being a prominent greener substitute to the traditional energy sources. India has been a front runner in the cause for promoting hydrogen as a greener energy source. India has a set target to produce 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen per annum by 2025 to 26. And India is also ranked 8th in Climate Change Performance Index 2023. Moreover, interconnections and integration of power systems at regional level was also advocated. The most prominent part of the declaration being formation of global biofuel alliance by India, Brazil, and United States of America. All these three countries have been the front runners in the cause of promoting biofuel, and they have done an commendable work in the field of promoting biofuels, producing biofuels in their own country and consuming them as well. So I have just listed a few countries here, which who have come up with some policy initiatives, policy initiatives in furtherance of the previous G20 meets. Like United Kingdom, they have came up with the electricity market reform to reduce their carbon footprints in 2011. Then in 2015, government announced their goal to completely phase out coal as a source of energy by 2025. Then we can look at Germany. The Renewable Sources Energy Sources Act was passed in 2000 and was updated in 2014 and 17 respectively, by which they made renewable energy sources of energy more lucrative by providing subsidies and making promoting the renewable energy sources altogether. Then we come to Argentina. They have also passed a renewable energy law named Law 27.191, by which they target to scale up 20% share of the renewable sources in electricity generation by the end of 2025. Now we come to green policy initiatives in India. So the first one being the National Offshore Wind Energy Policy 2015. This particular policy tried to harness the long coastline India has. So it basically helps in producing the clean wind energy by harnessing the country's exclusive economic zone. And the nodal ministry for this particular purpose was Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Then we come to National Policy on Biofuel 2018, which also focused upon the development of biofuel technology and which is as a more efficient source of energy. And through this particular policy, there was emphasis upon mixing of 10% ethanol, 10 to 20% of ethanol in petrol. So and then we come to Energy Conservation Amendment Act 2022, where the new thing like carbon credit trading program has been brought into existence, which is basically aimed at limiting the carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emission altogether. And
4 minutes are over. 4 minutes, last 1 minute.
okay, sir. So this particular carbon trading scheme will try to ensure that there are particular specific entities, identified entities, which have to meet the energy. They have to meet this requirement of energy through renewable sources of energy only. But there's no clarity as to the trading of carbon credit certificates, which is one of the major loopholes in the particular amendment act. Finally, I will come to the recommendations. I think that there's a need of clarity as to the appropriate authority which to regulate the carbon credit trading scheme and the how those carbon credit certificates will be traded. And moreover, we need to come up with more hybridization of two or more renewable energy sources to make these energy sources, green energy sources, more feasible, like we have done in the case of wind and solar energy. Then we need to incentivize local bodies to develop renewable sources of energy. This will not only improve the uh, uh, local awareness about the greener sources of energy, but would also
Five minutes
promote
are
it at
over.
grassroots level. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Anand sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, yes. So I quite like the approach, and for G20 nations, this particular biofuel and how we are trying to also go to more sustainable and renewable sources of energy is a
Yes, sir.
good thing. Comparatively, you have put in well. However, you could also look towards certain court decisions which have said A thing or B thing, especially when it comes to Germany. They had a huge problem with nuclear energy. So you could just
Yes.
witness that. So that's it. That's
Yes,
my
sir.
comment.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Our next participant is Krishna Priya Nambiar, and her topic is legal perspective for the prevention of child trafficking in India.
Good afternoon, sir. I am just sharing my screen. Uh, 1 second, I'm just sharing the slide. Give me a moment. I can't. Can you please help me, sir, regarding the share slide thing? Do I need to completely share, Somnath, sir?
Hello,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
See, there is a one up arrow. That symbol, if you click on it, you will get presentation option.
Yes, but then,
If you click on it, you
She
will
doesn't
get
want to present her entire screen, actually. That's what she's trying to say.
yes, yes.
okay.
So I can see my screen, but then I can't see from where I can share my screen of the slideshow. Because here there is two options of Chrome window and entire screen.
Okay. Have you opened your file, presentation file?
Yes, yes, it's open.
It's open, now. So when you present now, that file should be there. Okay, or you can also click on window, so you
Hmm.
will get that option.
Yes, yes, I got it. I got it, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay, welcome.
Good afternoon to one and all. My topic is legal perspective of prevention on child trafficking. I hope the slide is visible.
Yes, madam. Go
So
ahead.
Yes,
basically,
yes.
child trafficking is defined as the recruitment, transportation, and transfer, harboring, or receipt of any child trafficked in our country. So basically, we all understand and we all know that Article 51E stimulates that every Indian citizen has an obligation, which says every Indian citizen is obliged to give up practices that undermine the woman's dignity. Basically, we all have been listening to child trafficking, but we all don't know what exactly child trafficking is. So, my paper presenting is not only on child trafficking, but also the legal perspectives of the prevention on these child trafficking. So, the main objectives of my research paper is to convey. I hope my slide is moving.
It's still
No,
on the
madam.
first slide.
Ah,
Okay, so is
Now
it
yes,
it's
moving
moving.
now? So, the
Yes.
yes.
main objective of my research is to convey the legal perspectives, to analyze the crime related in India about child trafficking and the preventive measures. There's one famous quote saying we cannot call ourselves civilized or cultured or religious until and unless we put an end to the menace of slavery and trafficking in person. So, in detail, I would like to say that 22 million children are sold into sex trade every year. That means over 4 children a minute. What are we going to do about it? So, research says modern day slavery is the second name of child trafficking. Analyzes what I have made as an estimated 1.2 million children are already affected by the child trafficking at any given time. Data study also says 168 million children are victims of forced labor. This 168 million is sort of all overall from the past when we have started till the COVID period. 215 million children are engaged in child labor, and 115 million of those children are involved in hazardous work like labor works, labor contractors, all those of sort which get turns into child trafficking at the end part. The comparison says in total 49% of the detected victims of trafficking are women and 23% of girls, and to be very much clear, 21% are men and 7% are boys. So, looking upon to all the legal perspectives and laws against human trafficking, we all have been hearing Article 23, immoral traffic, protection of children for sexual offences, which came in 2012, known as POSCO. Then there is Section 370 and 370A. Then there is Section 372. So we all know that POSCO is there, Section 373 is there, Article 23 is there, but we don't know more about immoral traffic. Act 1956, which has been long way back came upon, which says sexual exploitation of a male or female is a cognizable offense. Also, this POSCO has made a very good impact on to protect all kind of sexual forms, may it be sexual abuse or may it be kidnapping, all comes, or rape or molestation comes under POSCO. Also, Section 30 and 370 and 370A, which says buying and disposing of any person under slavery or against doing a slavery where we buy, sell, import, all comes under the law of human trafficking, child trafficking, where layman doesn't know that we have these act to provide. So that's the reason my paper is presented, so that layman people or any person searching a paper against or on child trafficking can understand which laws are binded. So the
Last 1 minute.
conclusion, so the conclusion here we say that we can prevent the child trafficking by spreading awareness of education, by strict laws in place of preventing child trafficking. We must support NGOs. There are so many NGOs saying stop and save the child. There are NGOs saying WHO. We all only listen and see in papers, but we don't proactively work for these NGOs. So we have it's high time that educated people like us should come up to help these NGOs so that they retract these victims and make them a proper unvictimized person in the world. Also, conclusion two, why? Because I have always seen the problem is still in our hands to be solved if the strong steps are taken deliberately and policies are made and implemented strictly. If timely steps are not taken, so then in very short time it will remain too late to be helping these victims.
Time over.
So yeah, I'm thanking everyone, and I think knowing is not enough. We must all apply, and willing is not enough. We must all do. These are the references. Thank you so much. Thank you, team, for giving me such a nice opportunity to present my paper. Thank you.
Just few quick points.
Yeah.
Satyan sir, if I can. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The problem is that you were somewhere actually going on the side of trafficking, and you were also divided on child trafficking, but your uh, title of the presentation was child trafficking. If you see NCPCR data, NCPCR, what all they have done in the past 2 3 years, especially during COVID, for child trafficking, you have to see all these initiatives that they have taken. So I would have loved to know, because like I have friends there who are really working day and night to make this child protection better. Also, you could have covered Juvenile Justice Act, right, with POXO
So
Act
the
and all.
time, sorry to interrupt, but the time constraint
Yes,
and the slides didn't
correct,
make me put all these laws together. I know
correct.
there is Child Prohibition Act, there is Juvenile
Yes,
Data Act 2000, there is
yes.
Section
So
342.
instead of explaining the trafficking part in such great detail, you could have straight away started with child trafficking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Otherwise, it was a good presentation.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, Anand sir. Thank you. I'll take care of this, and for future things, I'll surely do the changes.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much.
So now we call our next participant.
Sachin, just give me a minute. I just wanted to welcome Anand sir. I think,
Thank you, ma'am.
yes, Anand sir, I think you know me. And
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
previously also we were in the FDPs and all.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
today, under the other position, I am welcoming you here. So thank you. You have taken our request and invitation also you have accepted. Thank you very much, Anand sir.
thank you, ma'am.
So
It's
welcome
always a
for
pleasure.
this event. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Sachin, you go ahead.
Yes. So with permission, can I call the third participant, sir?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
our third participant is Dr. Anjali Suhas Patil, and her topic is role of cyber security in digital economy. Hello, Anjali ma'am. Hello, Anjali ma'am, are you there? Okay, we will call our next participant.
Yes, sir, I am. I am.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, you are starting?
Yes, I'll just share my screen, sir.
Okay.
What am I supposed to do to share the screen?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes, just at a downside, you can see that there is a button which is called the present now. Just click on
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Okay, once you click on it, click on window.
Okay.
Okay, and there you can see your file which is already open.
Yes, sir.
Okay, select that and save.
Just 1 second, sir. No, sir, I'm not yet able to present. No, not yet able to share my.
Yes, now I think you have shared your screen now, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes. My screen is sharing, but my PPT is not able to be seen, sir.
have you opened your PPT?
Yes, sir, I have already opened it.
Okay,
It's
just
running.
then click on present now.
Just one second. Yes.
Then second option is window.
Yes.
You can see your file there. Select that file, your PPT.
No, I'm not able to see it here. रवि एकच मिनिट जरा इकडे
Should we try the next presenter?
We can. Sachin sir. Uh,
इथे फाईल शेअर
If it's
करायची आहे
okay
मला
with
ही पीपीटी
Dr. Anjali.
Anjali madam.
हे जी पीपीटी आहे ते शेअर करायचं आहे
We should.
Hello.
सर इज इट एबल आर यू एबल टू सी इट
No.
Oh, no.
no, ma'am.
Madam, if you are not prepared, can we take another number and we can join you again?
सर जस्ट okay sir I'll share
Rejoin
I'll do
also.
the next
Yes.
presentation.
Yes.
Yes,
Rejoin.
yes,
Okay, okay, okay.
Maybe it helps you by rejoining.
yes sir.
So our next participant is Mr. Manish Pandit Day, and the topic is generative artificial intelligence,
पण
geopolitics,
तिथे ह्याच्यात दिसत नाहीये
humanity more than ever,
शेअरचं ऑप्शन
sustainable guardrails is the antidote.
Sir, good afternoon. Sir, thank you all jury members for giving this opportunity to present the paper. I will share my screen. Hope I am able to do it successfully. Sir, is my screen visible now?
Not yet. Now it is going to be visible. Yes.
Right.
Uh,
Right, clear, sir, right? I will increase the font size so that
is it PDF file, sir?
yeah, this is PDF. Word is also ready with me. No worries. I will project the word.
Then it is better if you open Word.
Yeah. I think this size is comfortable.
Yes, very much comfortable.
Right, sir. So let me introduce myself. I'm working in Tata Consultancy Services and parallelly doing PhD from Department of Law and Governance, Vishwakarma University, Pune. And title of my research paper is Generative Artificial Intelligence, which is jeopardizing humanity more than ever. So what are the sustainable guardrails and what is the antidote to curb that menace? So I will start presenting now. This is the abstract, and basically I would like to inform that we have started this 21st century after overcoming very popular Y2K issues where we were having issues related to dates. Then in last 23-24 years, artificial intelligence has grown at a tremendous pace, and now generative artificial intelligence is the bigger innovation, we can say, which has come up since November 2022. So we must be hearing about Chat GPT, Google Bard, and all that. The evolution of generative AI has made artificial intelligence itself as a obsolete kind of technology, though it is built on platform of artificial intelligence. But now generative AI is leading, and generative AI is having a special characteristics that where you don't need much knowledge about programming and all those things, and anybody can start using AI based platforms. Only thing that he needs to ask the system right set of questions, which is basically known as prompt engineering is a subject in itself. So this will become a part of our life, and probably many students and many people, many writers have started using chat gpt for writing articles. Students are using it for writing assignments, basically misusing for various purposes. So generative AI is having a lot of applications in our daily life, as discussed here. So it is used for text generation, answering our questions, queries like we do in Google, then language translation, then image generation. We can use it for drug formulation, medical imaging. For example, if X-ray, MRI, CT scan is done, then that data can be fed to a system and it gives straight away the output and the opinion about the patient's health, and it even suggests the future line of treatment as well. So that is how it is, means it is replacing radiologists as well. Healthcare related applications are there, media entertainment which we encounter every day, that if we are browsing we get so many pop-ups and all that, which takes us to some different this thing. Then virtual augmented reality, then e-commerce, then it is used for product designing also. And deep fake, you must be hearing in last few days, it has become a big issue. So research methodology adopted is, though I wanted to collect the field data from few people, but I could not do that. So I have relied mostly on doctrinal studies, and field data is indirectly connected because I'm working in this field. So I have a data, but I did not do data analysis. So I relied on some library books. Then mainly I relied on newspaper articles, articles published in various magazines. So
Last
basically,
1 minute.
yeah, I
Last
will
1 minute.
quickly, yeah. So technology benefits never come for free, and artificial intelligence is also not an exception to that issue. So we need to guard it in some or another manner so that there is no compromise with humanity. Basically, we are at war with our own generation, our own creation. So we have to safeguard ourselves. This graph shows that as autonomy of a machine increases, the control of human being decreases. C is inversely proportional to A, where C is control, human control, and A is autonomy, machine autonomy. So in recent European Union AI Act, the risks, various kind of risk are being categorized as unacceptable, high risk, and limited risk based on those applications. So applications having unacceptable risk
Sir,
are
time is
not,
over.
and these are certain guardrails related to preventing a loss to humanity in different manner, like social, quality, data privacy, technical guardrails, legal guardrails, and operational change management. So right, sir, very sorry for exceeding the time. I am very sorry, sir. And these are the references. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Lovely presentation. I really loved how you brought forward the challenges that exist in with the AI and the augmented reality and so on and so forth. What you could have touched upon a little more was how machine learning models are working and data privacy issues that exist, or whether issues such as feeding of information is concerned. Overall, the paper seemed very balanced, and yes, good work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I will incorporate your comments, and I have covered these points at
I know
very
I could
high
see it.
level
I know, but
because of
I
word
wanted
limit.
to. I know I wanted to also critique in a different manner, but then time limit.
Yes, the time, and word limit of paper also, sir.
No
Thank you
problem.
very much, sir. Thanks. I will incorporate, sir. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you. Thank
Thanks
you.
for guidance, sir.
Dr. Anjali, ma'am, are you ready with the presentation? Hello, ma'am. Hello. Anjali, ma'am, are you ready with the presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. Yes, ma'am, your PPT is visible now.
Okay, sir. Hello and good morning, everyone. I am Advocate Dr. Anjali Suhas Patil, and I am presently working as the Principal cum Director, School of Law at the Sanjay Gudaivat University, Kolhapur. So today my topic is role of cybersecurity in the digital economy. And then to start with, we can see that the digital economy is gaining importance and continued relevance in the current era of heightened connectivity in cyberspace. And then the rapid growth of digital economy has brought about a concomitant increase in the cyber dangers and the hazards for the nation. So these risks are manifested in various forms, and they are in the forms of malware, the proliferation of organized cybercrime, the breaches of personal informations, and different types of personal data, and as well as official data also. So therefore, it is very imperative for the governments to make necessary preparations in order to mitigate the potential cyber dangers which are arising from the emerging domains, and specifically the domains are cloud technologies, the mobile technologies, and the internet of the things. So India has experienced a significant acceleration in the process of digitalization across several aspects of public life. And then currently, India is holding a distinction of being the foremost consumer of data, and it possesses the second largest market for smartphones globally. Among the 70 prominent digital economies, India exhibits the second highest rate of digital adoption. Now, this has been projected that by year 2025, India's digital economy will actually expand to a value of 1 trillion, which will actually prompt the governments to implement a sequence of pro growth reforms, which are supposed to happen in recent years, and thereby it should facilitate the progression towards an enhanced digital economy, which will empower its allied constituents. And then in the country now, there are actually 1.15 billion cell phones in circulation and 700 million users of the internet, and the number is still growing and growing. The Unified Payments Interface, which we call generally as UPI of India, has enabled 39 billion transactions in 2021, which is totaling to round about $940 billion in total value, which is over near about the 30% of the country's GDP, and it is represented by the amount of GDP. The rise in the cyber domination necessitates the cyber security. The national level strategies have been created to provide the infrastructure and foundation required to protect the internet so that nations can profit from and prosper in the digital economy. So the research methodology which I have used for my research is a descriptive analytical methodology, and the study is using a qualitative research strategy on which the foundation of my study has been basically relied upon the secondary data that was gathered by an extensive literature review that covered books, journals, and pertinent secondary sources related to the topic of the study. So, to move forward, I will try to explain some things which are relating to the digital economy. And then the term digital economy, it refers to an economy that is built on electronics based goods and services, electronic business structures, and worldwide economic and social networks made possible by the ICT, such as internet technology. And then, as the digital economy it grows, it is evident that the cyber crime is also supposed to grow. Now, what cybercrime does, the cybercrime, it encompasses potential cost, recovery cost, and real losses to the economy of the country. Like if we emphasize the top four economies, like the United States, the China, the Japan, and the Germany,
Last
they
volume.
lost about American dollars 200 billions to cybercrime, and a country's national cybersecurity plan must be explicit actually to provide and protect all these. So there has to have to be some strategies for the national cybersecurity in the digital economy. And then India has been actually framing the national cybersecurity strategy, which is called as the NSS, and I have mentioned all this in detail. So the national cyber threats are of different kind, which will include hacktivism, cyber espionage, cyber terrorism, organized crime in cyberspace, and then these are the biggest threats to the actually the economy of the country. Then in digital India, we are entering the phase of digitalization,
Time up,
and then
man.
cyber security. Yes, yes, sir. Cyber security at its wake has to be really emphasized a lot. And then there are some existing legislations and regulations, and then the defense has to be provided in such type. So the conclusion is that the dynamic nature of cyber threats are actually encompassing a advanced threat to the security and the, you can say, the economy of the nation. So there has to be a specific strategy with regard to the cyber security, which will be emphasized in near future, I think so. So thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to present my paper, though in a haste. But then I tried a lot of points to be discussed because it
Yes,
cannot
yes.
be concluded in such short period of time, because a very elaborate topic, I guess, to be discussed upon.
Yes. No, no, very well presented. The title also and the topic is very relevant because Minister of Home Affairs as well as several international organizations are looking into how can we really look into cybersecurity because of the
Yes, sir.
loss that we
Yes.
occur every year as such. So cyber terrorism as well as normal domestic cybersecurity attacks that keep happening and ransomwares that have come into market are a huge threat, and therefore, and especially as the previous presenter was also presenting about AI, so now
Yes.
we can generate scripts also through chat gpt which are
Yes.
posing as a cybersecurity threat.
Yes.
So yes, so relevant topic, good, well presented, and yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to our next participant, Hina Makwana, and her topic is Breaking Barriers, the Women's Reservation Bill of 2023, paving the way for gender equality in India.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Hina Makwana here from Department of Law, BNSU. My screen is visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the topic on which I'll be presenting today is Breaking Barriers, the Women's Reservation Bill of 2023, paving the way for gender equality in India. So this is the flow of my presentation: introduction, methodology, the historical concept and the journey of the Women Reservation Bill, analytical assessment of the bill, important provisions of this bill, and the challenges ahead, and conclusion. So, as we know, in the G20 event which took place in India last year, this last month, India, another presidency, has focused for the first time from women development to women-led development. So, gender equality has been called as the greatest human rights challenge of our time. And taking this into consideration, the motto is one earth, one family, one future, and not just for the upliftment of women only, but for the humanity as well. Just to start with that, why important of gender equality is there, So it is very important because in a democratic country like India, not only for reservation but otherwise also women have to be equally represented in all the spheres of the life. It can be said that it is equally important for the progress of economic development and the growth. So, addressing this gender equality, it will lead to solving some social issues, such as poverty or violence against the women and child marriages. So, focusing on the methodology, as this is a new bill introduced in September, these are the questions on which I'll be focusing. That what are the historical and political concerns of this bill? What are the key provisions of this bill? What are the potentials on which it focuses for the gender equality in India? What are the points of criticisms and the counter arguments while regarding this women reservation bill? Also, the as more data is not available, I have relied more on the secondary data, on the purely doctrinal work. I have gone through it. Just to have a look at the history or the historical context and the journey of the women reservation bill. The first time it was introduced in the parliament in Lok Sabha in the year 1996, but it could not could not pass because the bill lapsed. Again, it was introduced in 1998, going through 1999 as well, but it could not be passed. Attempt was made in the year 2004 and again in 2008, but could not implement or pass the bill. Again in 2010, in Rajya Sabha, the bill was passed, but it lapsed in Lok Sabha. But finally, in the year 2003, during the special session of Parliament, the bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha on 19 September. On 20th September, it was passed in Lok Sabha, and on 21st September, the bill was passed in Rajya Sabha. Honorable Prime Minister have given the assent to this bill on 28th September. The bill is reserved or frozen till the year 2026. Let us quickly see what are the key provisions of this bill. It focuses more on the reservation of the seats. The bill proposed reserving 33 seats reserved for Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. This reservation will be on the rotation basis. So, from all representation will be from all the constituencies. Gradually, implementation on the initial stage, it will be one third of the reservation. The seats will of the
Last
women.
1 minute, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes. And then it will increase to two-third and finally go to the 33% reservation. So very quickly going to the important provisions of this bill, if we see, it is definitely going to lead to the empowerment of women. Seats reservation, it will definitely help the women to represent from all the regions and the backwardness which has been there, it will be solved. The seats will be on the rotation basis, and of course, this will lead to strengthening the democracy as well. Of course, criticisms is that it is a political opposition is there because different people, the opposition believe that it will lead to the merit wise when women are getting the reservation, why this reservation should be there. Anyways, they are getting the chance. So, in the conclusion, I would like to say that it is a very important bill, but it is yet to be seen that how successful it is to be implemented. And my last remark is that India ranks 127th out of the 146 country in emphasizing the gender disparity, leading to this addressing measures to reduce this inequalities. This is all from my side. Thank you so much for giving me a chance. Thank you.
Certainly a relevant topic, and it is a much debated topic in all circles, whether it be legal, political, social circles, with respect to this new reservation bill. Two quick points I think one could address was that how would we give this reservation, because census needs to be conducted and the census
Yes.
hasn't been conducted, so that seems to be the problem. Second, when will the act actually come into implementation is a big point, because
Yes.
law created sometimes is because of political will and not due to the actual impact. The affirmative action that you are talking about maybe is not so evident. Some time later we will get the result, but
Actually, but this is something we can see a step ahead to
we can
meet
we
the
can
yes,
yes,
and that is only
but there
purpose
are
why.
Yes, but there are so many people who have called this as a tokenist measure
Yeah,
actually, because
actually, it
so
is.
I'm
It is.
just presenting both sides.
Oh,
Since you have already
yes.
given the affirmative action side, I'm giving you the other side of.
Yes, it's. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you.
much.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sachin sir,
And
how many more are left?
there are 11 participants, sir. We are on sixth.
We are on sixth. Okay.
Okay, so our next participant is Twinkle Desai, and her topic is navigating the digital divide, assessing challenges and unwilling prospects in online dispute resolution (ODR) within the Indian legal landscape.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just give me few seconds to share my screen. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, the
Yes.
screen.
Okay. Uh, uh, Good afternoon, everyone. So, I'll be presenting the paper on navigating the digital divide, assessing challenges and unveiling prospects in online digital resolution, that is ODR, within the Indian legal landscape. As the title of my paper suggests, I'll be focusing on various legislative provisions which are available towards ODR, as well as the challenges and prospects, future prospects that are there with regards to ODR. So, as we know that we are in the digital age right now, and it has led to dramatic changes in the areas of human connection, commerce, trade, communication, and everything. Due to the cross-border nature of the disputes and everything, it is necessary for quick and accessible conflict resolution procedure as well. So, ODR exists at the crossroads of this technology and conflicts and resolution, providing a dynamic and innovative way to resolve the various disputes in the digital domain. So the main idea behind ODR is to use the technology and improve the conflict resolution within the online context. If we look into the definition of ODR, we can say that it is a type of online dispute settlement that allows alternative dispute resolution procedures. That is alternative dispute resolution, and the word refers to disputes that are partially or completely resolved through the means of internet, which either have begun in cyberspace, but it has source outside the cyberspace as well. Looking into the legislative aspects of ODR, India does not have any dedicated law which is which allows for ODR, but there are many provisions which is there in our Indian legal framework. So, if we look into the joint reading of and interpretation of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act, the Information Technology Act, and the Evidence Act, we can see that ODR has legal existence within our framework. Apart from that, Section 89 and Order 10, Rule 1A also talks about pursuing of alternative dispute redressal and directing of the court to resolve the dispute through ADR measures. ODR was recognized in India under the Reserve Bank of India's Banking Ombudsman Scheme 2006, which allowed the complaints to be lodged online in the Banking Ombudsman. Uh, Apart from that, Section 17 of the Consumer Protection Act and Section 35 of the Consumer Protection Act talks about electronic filing as well as resolution of disputes through online means. For this purpose, the government of India has launched a commission online application portal, which is also known as e-Dakhil. Moving on to various efforts made by the government towards enhancing of ODI measures. The first that comes is the domain dispute settlement mechanism of the National Internet Exchange of India, which has established the domain dispute resolution policy and trying to resolve the disputes through the means of online portal. The second is the Consumer Affairs Department. They have made many initiatives to resolve the consumer disputes through this means. Firstly, it has allowed the establishment of a national consumer helpline, which disseminates the consumer information and promotes consumer welfare. It has expanded this service
Last
to
1 minute.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. It has expanded the service to other means as well. Department of Justice has also taken efforts to resolve the disputes to ODR platform. Samadhan platform, Samadhan portal introduced by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises has launched this Samadhan portal in October 2017. The Reserve Bank of India's ODR policy for digital payment has also further strengthened the ODR mechanism within India. If we look into the challenges of ODR, we can say that there is still a large gap in access of technology as well as digital literacy. Further, with regards to the online processes in ODR, there is less acceptance and trust. Further, we can also say that the legal procedures and enforcement of online decisions are little bit outdated because it still requires physical copy, as well as there is just I will be concluding, and privacy and data concerns are there as well. There are many prospects with regards to ODR reserved mechanism. It is necessary that we balance the opportunities that are available with regards to the prospects and look forward to the same. With this, I would like to conclude my presentation, and these are my references. Thank you.
Thank you. The topic is something that I'm also part of, as a part of high powered committee that we are dealing with ODR. Can't divulge much, but you are on the right path. You could have talked about delays actually, that how the judicial system is marred with delays, and how the system is slow. So ODR platform can be something of not only of the future but should be the necessity. You have covered all the laws properly, and one can also address that there is a huge problem with the infrastructure as well, because like for example you mentioned Samadhan portal. We actually went to various states there. Not even a computer exists to run these
Right.
websites. So you know, it's a huge problem actually when it comes to infrastructure. That's my 2 cents. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll keep your suggestions in mind for future.
Okay. Our next presenter is Dr. Priya Chopde. Ma'am is going to present the topic Women-led Development in India, Socio-Legal Perspective. Over to you, ma'am, Dr. Priya. Hello.
Dr. Priya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just sharing my screen.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Just
But
give me 1 minute, sir.
oh, ma'am, if you require more time, okay.
Is it visible now?
Hello.
My
Yes.
screen is visible, sir.
Yes, madam. Now you can see. We can see your presentation.
Okay. The complete PowerPoint presentation is visible.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. So thank you for giving me opportunity for presenting this paper. It is related to myself, Dr. Priya Chopde. I am Vice Principal at D.H. Shri Navalmal Firodia Law College. And the topic of my presentation or the paper is Women-led Development in India, Socio-Legal Perspectives.
Hello.
Yes. I think the second slide is not visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So,
Just start the slideshow. It just started. Yes.
Yes, but it is not more. Yes. Now I think it is moving.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you
Go
see
ahead.
the next slide?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We can.
Yeah. So while considering this agenda as a women-led development, it is the recent approach that was put forward by our Honorable Prime Minister in G20 summit. So through this approach, it is nothing but we are transforming, or the approach of Indian society along with political will is now being transformed from women's development to the women-led development. Now here, what actually this model or this concept means, it is nothing but to consider women as the leaders, or they are the active participants in the process of development. Initially, the approach in our Indian society, or we can say it was a need of Indian society to consider the developmental programs for women and to empower them. And now over the period of time, now we have completed 75 years of independence. So it is now there are so many laws, policies, legislations, or there are some various institutional frameworks, there are self-help groups, judiciary has also come on forefront during the last few decades. And now the idea of women empowerment or women development is tried to be achieved to a greater extent. We cannot say that it is 100%, but it is achieved to a greater extent. My focus while doing this research is nothing but to analyze the existing socio-legal framework in the area of women's development, to from women's development to the women-led development concept. Are we prepared, or can we shift to this model? So for having the socio-legal framework of the same, we can consider primarily the constitutional document which we have. So constitution provides us guarantees to the women. Specifically, we can note down the articles like Article 14, which expects a state to maintain equality. Article 15 is there. Article 15 clause 3 specifically talks about the affirmative actions that could be taken by the government for ensuring development or the protection of rights of women. There are various directive principles of the state policy which has mandated the state to ensure equal pay for equal work, safe working conditions, and many more. There are various policy initiatives of the government as well. If we consider the policies, some policies are directly connected or directly focused to the empowerment of women or protecting the rights of women. We can just because of time scarcity, I can just mention one or two. The Matru Vandan Yojana is there. There is a
Last 1 minute,
policy.
ma'am.
Yes.
Last 1 minute.
Yes, sir. So such different policies are there with us. However, when we consider all these concepts, the policies, the legal framework, and everything, still we find out, or after doing this research, the statistical data which is available with the governmental authorities, there are so many challenges. Still, we could not fill up the gender gap. The literacy, specifically digital literacy of the women, is necessary to be carried out. All the developmental processes or the policy, the theoretical framework is available, but it needs to be implemented on a pragmatic level. So pragmatic approach is necessary for this purpose. There is necessity of self-awareness as well as social awareness. women should be made aware about their own capabilities, that they can lead the nation instead of just being considering themselves as the beneficiary of the developmental schemes of the government. They can understand that they had have the capacity to lead the nation. There are some societal changes, the awareness in the society, that is also necessary to be considered. So overall, after having gone through the research that I did, I could conclude with saying that the women led development, it is a noble initiative that is taken by our Prime Minister of India. And for that purpose, the structural theoretical framework is available with us. Socio legal framework is already available. What
Time
is
over,
necessary
ma'am.
is to implement it at the in a pragmatic way until to the grassroots level. So it would be a long way to transform nation towards sustainable development. Thank you.
Yes, actually, good point. There are so many initiatives, policy measures, as well as law which the government has introduced. But sometimes I feel, due to maybe social pressure, family pressure, women are not like using those particular opportunities. So the government is doing really well to emancipate women and to give them more opportunities. But I
Yes.
feel somewhere women also need to do that, because for example, the 2013 amendment, the companies act that came, they had to make it mandatory for women directors. But up till 2021, 2022, there were some companies which did not enforce that. So
Yes.
laws are there, but I think,
Implementation is not
yes.
possible.
So that's it. Thank you,
We have to
great
look
presentation.
into those aspects. Yeah.
Absolutely, ma'am.
I would definitely consider your suggestions, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Priya. Our next presenter is Ayman Akhtar. She is going to present her topic. Her topic name is Rise and Identity of Women as explored in Monica Ali's Brick Lane. Ma'am, over to you. Ayman, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So, just a second. I will just.
Okay.
Sir, is my PPT visible?
Not yet.
Not yet. Just a second.
You need to click on present now, but it is there
Yes, yes, yes.
at the bottom side.
Yes, sir. I have done that. But why am I not getting the other option? So just give me a minute.
Okay. Otherwise, you can present after some time. Is it
No,
okay,
no,
ma'am?
sir. I would do it right now.
Okay, okay. Do it then. Ex-
So just a minute. Sir, is it visible now?
yes, ma'am. Now it is going to start.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So good afternoon, respected jury and my fellow.
Ma'am, sorry for disturbing you. Just can you press F5 or you can press on presentation slideshow?
Yes, sir.
Uh, yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
slideshow. And from beginning.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone, respected jury and my fellow conference mates. So my name is Eman Attar and I am a research scholar in Bharati Vidyapit Pune. The title of my research paper is Rise and Identity of Women as Explored in Monica Ali's Brick Lane. So Monica Ali is basically a Bangladeshi author, and she is currently residing in London. So she writes particularly on the issues that are faced by immigrants, and which is the theme in today's novel as well. So the context of my novel is that the context of my paper is that Brick Lane is the novel which was written by Monica Ali in 2003, which was later made into a movie in 2007. So the novel focuses on the lives of Bangladeshi immigrants who are currently residing in London. So we would, in the research paper, we would examine the journey of a woman whose name is Nazanin, who is the protagonist of the novel. So we would analyze her journey from a housewife to an entrepreneur. So the story starts in the Bangladesh, wherein Nazneen is born and she has been raised into a typical middle class family, and she has been always told that you should listen and you should respect to your elders, unnecessary of what you feel and what you want to do, and your only mission in life should be pleasing others, taking care of your house, taking care of your relatives. That is your only goal in life. You shouldn't have your own commands and your own uh, statements to live your own life. So after this was the time when she was brought up. So as she grew up, she was later again started her school education, but again it was stopped because her ultimate goal in life was to get married and settle down. So education was not much important, but it was very much important for her to cook food, make meals for her house, and also get involved in other household activities. And later, when she was of the marriage age, she was married to a man called as Chanu, and who was double her age. Now this marriage was fixed by her dad, but she was not consulted before her marriage. It was the decision that she should get married to this man, and she was not even asked once that is she okay or is she ready to marry this man. So after the marriage, she moves on to Bangladesh because Chanu is from Bangladesh and he is working in London. So now, after marriage, she again shifts to London along with her husband Chanu, and now both of them start staying there. But now, when she goes to London, this is completely a new country to her. She is already very confused because this is a new country. She does not know any language. She does not know how to represent herself when she goes out, how to talk to uh, uh, other London people, and the only two words which she knew was how to pronounce thank you and to say welcome. So these were the only two words which she knew, and she was always bothered that why doesn't she understand, why is she not allowed to learn the new language. She always has that thought in her mind that no, she wants to learn new language, she wants to explore the new country, the new culture, and also work and do something in life which would make her independent and which would also give her own identity. So she always has these thoughts in her mind, but she is always bound by her household duties. She's always been taking care of her family, raising up her daughters. She has two daughters, and she is very much worried about these daughters because she always has that thought in her mind that okay, she had no opportunities, but she should allow her daughters to explore uh, everything, and they should not be held behind or held back because of certain reasons. And she feels that okay, I have daughters, but I will not raise them the way I was raised by my parents. I want my daughters to explore everything, to live their life, and also to have their own identity, to study whatever they wish for. So these are the constant thoughts going on in her mind. While on the contrary, when she was asked that her daughters should take education in Bangladeshi medium and not an English medium, but then she stands up for herself and she conveys her husband that no, they should learn into an English medium because they are raising in a completely English country, and it is very much necessary for them to learn English very
Ma'am,
well.
last 1 minute.
yes, if they want to have some career in the future. So then she does this, and okay, her husband agrees to her, but by this point we come to know that she was the victim of Chanu, but he also loved her and respected her, so he allows her to educate their daughters in English medium school. And later on, when we come to know that the daughters are doing good, everything is a happy life, she is also contented with her life, but they are in a financial instability, and so she wishes to work. And Chanu again says that no, I mean her husband does not allow her to work, and he says that no, it's not necessary for you to work, you just take care of the house and take care of your daughters, I will do whatever I can. And ultimately he comes to a point that they everyone their family will move from London to Bangladesh, because they have some property in Bangladesh where they can reside and live their life happily. They will not face any financial instability in Bangladesh. But then Nazneen says that no, you can go, but I will stay back in London, I will take care of my daughters, I will raise them. And he later on allows her, and then she stays back in London and she establishes her own business. She starts her own business of a salon, and also side by side she develops her studio. She starts sewing and also making embroideries and designs on the suits and dresses. And her designs were very much accepted and loved by the ladies in London. So she starts developing into a very very a good her studio grows into a very very good and reputed studio in London. And she definitely makes good profit, and she takes care of her daughters.
Time is
And
over.
yes, sir. So from this I would like to conclude that there have been three major themes which we have seen in the novel. The first one is faith, the second one is quest for identity, and third one is motherhood. We see that Nazneen, being the protagonist, she always has a faith that she could do something, she could achieve something in her own life. Second is quest for identity. We also see that at the end of the novel she has her own studio and she has her own identity now. And so she is also financially stable, and so she can give her daughters a better lifestyle. So the conclusion is that women should be given opportunities to establish their own identity, and every woman is special and capable in her own ways. So she should be allowed, and she has different potentials in her which should be given opportunities, and then everything is possible. Instead of keeping women into a very patriarchal bound society, they should come out and seek for their own uh, opportunities. Thank you. So these are my works.
Yes. Okay. Um, I really like the way you have utilized the research methodology to make your point. Further, if you are using that woman should be, free to do what they want, I think also you should stop utilizing the word allowed, because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
word allowed itself means there is some sort of control, and when you use that form of control, the author's central idea gets disappointed, because that's the whole point, that she could not do anything without the control or supervision or approval of their parents. So that's the only constructive feedback. I really like the book also anyway, so yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. I will
Yeah.
definitely incorporate the changes. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much, Aman ma'am. Now I am going to invite our next presenter, Deepna Rao ma'am. She is going to present her topic. The topic is elaborating on the notion of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam with reference to literature and its relevance to peace studies and multilateral dialogue. Over to you, Deepna ma'am.
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Uh, just 1 minute. I'm just sharing my tab. Are you seeing the tab?
Yes, ma'am. It is starting now.
All right. Thank you. So, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you to the organizers for organizing such a wonderful conference. Today, I'm going to elaborate on the notion of Vasudev Kutumbakam with reference to literature and its um, also its relevance to peace studies and multilateral dialogue. So my paper is actually incorporating multiple research. It's a qualitative paper that incorporates multiple approaches, a comparative approach. It also does a critical analysis and close reading and deconstruction. With respect to the G20, the G20 developed as a prominent initiative following World War II, and it is supported by the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the World Trade Organization. This year, of course, India hosted this international intergovernmental summit, and the forum discussed various issues such as climate change, the means of establishing sustainable development, financial issues such as financial stability, multilateral trade, and working towards world peace. However, the slogan that India adopted was actually Vasudev Kutumbakam, which is a Sanskrit phrase that finds origin in the Maha Upanishad. And you can see it over here. It's from chapter 6, verse 72. And now we shall unpack the notion. So, literally, in a sense, it means that those who are only petty discriminate between relatives and strangers. But for the magnanimous one, the entire universe is one world that constitutes a family. The slogan, therefore, is harking for inclusivity, sustainable development, and it's a call for greater universal humanity. However, it is also affirming the value of all biodiversity, LGBTQIA included. And of course, it is also similar to the notion, philosophically, it is similar to the notion of ahimsa, which incorporates values of tolerance, benevolence, and the love of all life forms. And only then could it, only then all life would exist. It is also corresponding to Aham Brahmasmi, which is I am divine, which is basically translating to I am divine. So the notion of self divinity comes from this particular notion. Now, comparatively, Vasudev Kutumbakam is, as a notion, is similarly philosophically similar to various other cultural notions, such as the Korean Hongik Ingan. That is in that Korean philosophy. It largely translates to living broadly to benefit the human world and humankind. It is also similar to the African notion of Ubuntu, which is basically, the translation is a long translation, but it is essentially meaning I am because we are, I'm human because I belong and I participate, and therefore I am. And it's also similarly used, perhaps, in Western terms, to the term globalization, though it is far more in meaning.
Ma'am, last
Globalization,
1 minute.
yes, is a term where you have it's more economic as a concept, and it's where they are looking at commerce and intercultural communication that favor a global economy, whereas it is far more. There are lots of Indian texts which illustrate this philosophy of Vasudev Kutumbakam. The Shanti Parva, of course, does so, from the Mahabharata. Then the later story of Ram, which is a play by the Sanskrit playwright Bhavabhuti. And also we get wisdom from the tales of the Panchatantra. And Thirukural, which is a Tamil text, which is also reflective of this notion. There are other literary texts that can be described as, can be also looked at from this perspective. And these literary texts, which you see on this slide, are also giving ways to discussions that favor multilateral dialogue and discussions about world peace. The story of Stuff, for instance, advocates minimalism. The Mad Adam trilogy and The Trespassers are futuristic dystopian works which are post-pandemic, and of course they are discussing various climate change and other relevant relevant issues. So in conclusion, those who recognize the wisdom of Vasudev Kutumbakam can truly move towards being better human beings, and it is a key to making a better world and a better planet. So thank you.
Yes, lovely presentation. So apt with the theme actually, because multilateralism and G20 was the theme, and the slogan also said Vasudev Kutumbakam. The cultural impact of G20 on all nations by India was huge actually, because not only the presidency brought a lot of accolades, but also our cultural impact, our uh, financial impact that India is now part of in a globalized economy only goes on to show that like how the world is so connected. Every movement that we do, for example, even like COVID-19, it only goes on to show that how the world is so connected. One thing that starts in one country has immediate impact in the other country. But yes, you could actually you could also contextualize it more by using only cultural impact examples, which would have been way more better. So I was just looking that like the topic is so wide. If you would have just limited it and written more on either one of the aspects that you were mentioning, it would have been better. But like I really like the topic a lot.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. And of course, I did actually look at various contexts within my paper, but there wasn't any time. Also respected the time frame. But thank
Yes,
you so much. And
yes.
of course, if you wish, I can also share very briefly the reference list, so you can see the various references which I have. Is it visible? I don't know. Is it visible?
No, ma'am.
No.
I don't. I I'm
Yes.
just sharing the references, and that's it. So thank you. These are the references, and thank you. Thanks a lot to the organizers for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dipna ma'am. Our next presenter is Saili Natu ma'am. Her topic is Women Empowerment as depicted in Hindi films of 21st century. Saili ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you so much. Good afternoon. My topic today to talk about is women empowerment as depicted in the Hindi movies, specifically in 21st century. Nadine Labaki, who's a very famous Lebanese actress and director, she said the cinema is not only about making people dream, it is also about changing things and making people think. Now, when I talk about this very specifically in terms of the Indian cinema, I'm sure you understand why I've put that quote, because there has been a considerable change in the women characters in Bollywood, especially in the 21st century. If you see the 60s, 70s, even 80s, the idea of a woman character was very simple. She was only the homemaker or she was a love interest, and women centric films were not really a huge deal back. I mean, apart from few films like Mother India, you don't see a lot of films that focused on the women as a driving force, or they did not see women as a central character. There has been a transition of women's role as a secondary character or love interest or eye candy to a more stronger independent character, and that has been helpful in ensuring that we had better women centric films. Today, if you see specifically after let us say 2020, 2001 to 2024, you will see a lot of films that have been made which made an impact on the way women feel, the way women believe, the way women work, the way women act, everything, plus the entire sociological framework, the emotional framework of a woman was depicted much better in the last 20 23 years. Women characters have been highlighted better through a very few examples here with films like Shabash Mithu or Dangal or Shakuntala Devi Chapak, a lot of other films as well. Along with that, even the fictional films like that of Lajja or Chandni Bar or Fashion, they talk a lot about how the women characters don't have to be essentially very positive and very delicate, but they can also have gray characters. They are also humans, and then there has been also a shift in how the women are supposed to look, how the women are supposed to feel as well. However, a very few films have also discussed a very vague, distorted idea or a very distorted version of women empowerment, leading to the pseudo women empowerment, which I will be first discussing with you all. Selective approach to feminism. Very specifically, if we talk, there are some instances in which the female characters are presented as empowered, while simultaneously they are also adhering to the traditional gender roles, stereotypes, and there have been a lot of other issues as well. For example, some movies feature female protagonists who are portrayed as strong, independent individuals who break away from the traditional gender norms, but then these women are not looked up as role models, rather they're looked up as somebody who's way too aggressive for a woman, uh, reinforcing the stereotypes which I was just talking about. Now, the contradiction that we have, because a woman has to be modern in her outlook, modern in her thoughts, but traditional when it comes to her personal life. This contradiction, it can be confusing, it can be counterproductive, and it's also perpetuates social norms even as the film seemingly attempts to challenge them. Now, a film may showcase a successful career, but when it comes to her personal life, she is still very disturbed, or she is still very docile, or somebody who is fitting in all those gender norms and things like that. Another problem is the bad habits and the glorification of that. This might sound a bit controversial, but films like Lipstick Under My Burqa, where uh, just the fact that she wants to do drugs because men can do, does not really talk about women empowerment per se. Objectification of women. Now, in the quest of trying to not objectify women, Bollywood has objectified them a lot. Not only about how a woman should think or how a woman should look.
Ma'am,
uh,
last 1 minute.
yes, yes. The issue of pseudo woman empowerment in Bollywood has been a very problematic one, specifically the savior complex. So I'll just quickly run through the empowerment of it. Thankfully, a lot of films have also been showing a lot of strong characters, with films like Dangal or films like Mission Mangal, where we're not only talking about strong characters, but we're also talking about very mature, rounded characters, multi-dimensional characters like Geet from Jab We Met, where we see that she has done certain things which are wrong, and it is okay to be a grey character. Success stories like that of Shahbaz Mithu or Saina Nehwal or Goomer, all these films, again talk about the success stories, and that the women are not limited to certain careers as well. Relationships and self-discovery, again, films like Queen, films like English for English talk about how even if you've been there for, or how women have been portrayed, and there, if they want to fly out of those, there is still a chance, there's still a possibility, and that actually gave women a lot of scope to talk about, and self-development as well. Very important one, the equality of importance of characters, as to women are no longer considered as eye candy in majority of the films, although there are still a few films which would objectify women. Majority of the films today are taking the women characters more seriously, and they are focusing a lot on the betterment of them. Thank you so much, and that's the end of my presentation.
Yes, really relevant because time and again we have been told that how filmography is shaping minds of the future, and there are certain content that is purely being produced for let's say, panchayat, purely made for people of rural belt, as well as how female
Yeah.
empowerment can be brought forward. So that is, of course, the new norm, that we can do breaking of the highest glass ceiling through this particular process. And it only warms my heart that people are researching that way, because in law also we do something like that. We use filmography to cite how the social impact is being made by certain laws, because there are so many changes, even like for example toiletic prem katha. So
Yes.
there are so many examples of how they are trying to break not only the glass ceiling, but also women empowerment is the theme. And there are so many movies that have been made. So congratulations, great research. And yes, please work more on this area, because it really requires more contribution actually.
Absolutely. Actually, I had a lot to talk about, but as the time frame is such, I had to cut
Yes,
it down.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you so much for your feedback, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Saili ma'am. Now we are moving towards our next presenter, next and last presenter, Rishabh Gandhi sir. Sir is going to talk on crossroads of faith and law, the right to die through Prayopega in Hinduism and its modern Indian challenges. Rishabh sir, Rishabh sir, are you there? Hello, Rishabh sir. It seemed that sir had not joined this online conference. Rishabh sir, yes, he is not there. So now I request.
Sir, can you give me 2 minutes? I will call Rishabh and tell him to join. He might be in the court.
Okay,
Okay.
no
Maybe
issue, no
after
issue.
5 minutes.
Anand sir, can we wait for next 2 minutes? Is it okay with you?
No problem. No problem.
Okay, okay, Mahesh sir, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, sorry, he is not picking. Very sorry.
Yes, so thank you very much, Mahesh sir, for taking all this initiative. And
My duty, sir.
now I request our chairperson, Anand Maria sir, to address all of us. And also I request sir to declare a best presenter from all of us. Anand sir.
Yes. So the theme for today, the paper presented actually were from wide areas. Also, we got to not only learn that law and policy is not the only way that we can measure the impact of laws and legislation, but also certain small cultural phenomena as well. And like you know especially the movie part that we got to understand further, the G20 theme that the conference also has, multilateralism is so important. The homogeneity as well as the heterogeneity that the nations are trying to witness is really something that we need to also understand, because in a unified world, in a global world, to remain culturally sound as to your roots is very important. And especially India, we have such diverse and good roots that we are and we are a prime example for the world at large. So the topics, the presentation, the methodology, even with constraint of time, I would really wish to and like to congratulate the organizers for presenting and for putting up such a great display, and that too in such a small amount of time. So huge congratulations. As far as the winner goes, um, the the winner, according to me, would be Anjali Patil, because of the presentation as well as the structure that she had in her research. So that's that. Somnath sir, Sachin sir, anything else?
Anand sir, thank you very much.
Okay, okay. Good work. Keep it up.
Yes, sir, thank you very much. It's always very encouraging if we get such supportive feedbacks and words and comments. So we could find out time from our hectic schedule and be engaged in this research work for times and times to come.
Yes.
Yes. Once again, congratulations, ma'am, Anjali ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Now
Thank you very much.
we all moving towards vote of thanks. So I thank chairperson of today's session, Dr. Ananta Maria, for accepting and chairing this session and guiding all of us. Your depth knowledge in the area of legal studies reflected in your observation, and certainly we delighted that you could spare some time with all of us. Thank you very much, sir, once again. I also thanks all presenters for your effective contribution. I declare that the session is over now and we are moving towards valedictory session. Valedictory session is going to start at 4:15 p.m. There is a break of 15 minutes. Link is already given in WhatsApp group. You can use it and we can join valedictory session. Once again, thank you, Dr. Ananta Maria sir, and
Yes.
all presenter of this session.
Thank you, Dr. Somnath,
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Sachin
Thank
sir,
you.
for hosting me and being such nice organizers and like accommodating me so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
sir. Thank you. Thank you.
I declare that this session is over and we have to move towards valedictory session.
Thank you.